Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks as always for visiting our channel. If you're doing it for the first time, please support us by subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video. Give this video a thumbs up. This will help it reach many people, and you can help us share our videos. Again, to all our subscribers and our supporters, from my heart, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Chinua Achebe in one of his books says that a chick that will grow into a cock is noticed the very day the eggs are hatched. The crisis in the country and the absence or deliberate silence of Raila Amolo Odinga has presented an opportunity for that chick that will grow into a cock, for that person who will fit into Raila's shoes to inherit his position, his seat. And we have seen people talk about the doctor's strike, the fake fertilizer, and the mess in the school where they have not even received capitation fee. People talk about the insecurity in the country, the wastage in the government, as has been revealed by the Controller of Budget and the Auditor General. Now, in the ongoing doctor strike today, Kithure Kindiki banned the demonstrations and warned them. It is like he declared war. But Atela Devji is a man who does not take threats and intimidation as part of his life. And so they continued with the demonstrations, and other health workers, clinical officers, nutritionists, and all that joined them. Now, Babu Owino seems to be fighting to inherit Raila's shoes, and people seem to have, accepted him as the man who can try and inherit that big shoes, because the truth is, Raila is still in politics. But then, whether you like it or not, a time will come when he will try and take a backseat from active politics. So Babu Owino joined the doctors today, and I want you to listen to his speech because they were there with Osoro. He made Osoro very uneasy as he was talking about Ruto's wastage and why Ruto must pay doctors. And Osoro was faking some smile there, but he was making him very uneasy. Kindly watch the video so that we can come back and discuss this together.
Doctors Ria! Yeah. Doctors Ra! Yeah. Doctors Tibim! Yeah. Doctors Tialala! Yeah. Warembo ha! Na doctors mwe! Nurses Tialala! Now, the first thing that we will do is not to leave these precincts of parliament. Mheshimiwa Osoro, these doctors must never leave here. Under the doctrine of necessity. Yes. The doctors must stay here because they need money. Yes. We will not wait for 2 weeks. Yes. Because in 2 weeks' time, how many patients shall have died? Yes. We want Ruto himself to meet these doctors. Yes. Ruto has been wasting time walking around the world, but he has a lot of crises in this nation. Yeah. The first one being the doctors' issue that he must address today. And doctors, this demonstration must never stop because Ruto said that there is no money. Auze hiyo saa yake ambayo ni 10 million. Walipe doctor. Dr. Ria, Dr. Ra, Dr. Steve, Dr. Tialala. There is a motion before Parliament that is going to impeach Nakumicha. Nakumicha must. Nakumicha must. Nakumicha must. You cannot do diploma online and then you come and frustrate the doctors who cleared 6 years in the university. Doctors' power. The doctors must not be paid yesterday. They must not be paid tomorrow, but they must be paid today. Ruto took loans and Ruto is collecting taxes. And those taxes must be used to pay these doctors. Ruto is vicariously liable for all the deaths occurring in the hospitals, for all the deaths occurring in this country, because he has refused to pay the doctors. Ruto touched our toes and we kept quiet. He moved to our knees and we kept quiet. He jumped here and moved to our heads and we kept quiet. He moved to our chest and we kept quiet. Now he has touched our private parts. Dr. Surya, Dr. Surya, Dr. Sudi, Dr. Stialala. Therefore, you must decide what to do with him. Hii serikali haitaendeshwa jinsi ambavyo mtu ambaye anaosha choo anaendesha hiyo choo. The government must never be run like a kiosk. These doctors must be respected because it is their duty, inherent duty, to receive their salaries. The 3 reducible minimums. Number 1, doctors must be paid as per the 2016-2017 CBA. Number two, the interns must be paid. And it must be 100% pay. Number 3, the doctors who have just graduated last year and before, they must be deployed. Today, doctors, there will be no business in parliament. Therefore, Mheshimiwa Osoro, inafaa utoke hapa before doctors wakukimbize hapa.
So that is Babu Owino today with the doctors, and you saw Osoro there. And Babu Owino is part of the team that calls itself Team Ground, together with David Mwenje. We have Hamisi from Western and a host of other leaders, and they are saying that they are going to do the opposition work and they are not going to sit back and watch. Yesterday, he received a massive reception in Nyanza. And that's why people feel that, yes, Raila is there, and Babu has made it clear that he will respect Raila. But they're preparing so that in the event that Raila will go to the African Union Commission to serve Africa, then he will ensure that they continue with the very work that Raila started. Sometimes back while in a funeral in Nyeri, he told Rigiji that, Rigiji, you must understand that when Baba is gone, he leaves behind Babu. And he told them that should there be more dramatic mess in the country, then they will have to go back to the street. And these young thugs, as I've always repeated, will pose a very big threat to people like Kalonzo Musyoka, Mudavadi, and DP Rigathi Gachagua. Because Ruto will be there, whether he wins his second term or not, he will be listened to up to 2032. Raila will still have a say up to 2032, if you ask me. Thereafter, young leaders will decide to erupt. People like Babu Owino, people like the Secretary General of ODM, Edwin Sifuna, people like Cherargai on the other side, and Ndindi Nyoro. These young leaders will not give the other older leaders peace. And this is why the very older leaders must be very, very careful. And they have made it very clear. Ndindi Nyoro is already campaigning and people are endorsing him for presidency after William Ruto. Babu Owino is already cutting across the board. And in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted us to look at what is it that Babu Owino has that makes him a person who can take over. If you look at Babu Owino, just like Raila Amolo Odinga, Babu is always available whenever he is needed. You know, one thing that endeared Raila to the people is that he was ever there when the people needed him. When the government was, was trying to torture and punish people, and constitutionally he was there. From the second liberation, when we have the one party state, Raila was part of the people who were tortured, who were detained. He's been there over the years. Not alone, but together with the other people like Martha Karua, Koigi Wamwere, Jimmy Orengo, Mweki. People have been there, but Raila was part and was at the central point of fighting for multi-party democracy. And over the years, he has continued to tell off the government when the government wants to go off the mark. Raila brought together with other people the new constitution, and you know that today people enjoy some liberation courtesy of the expanded democracy. So Babu Owino is also playing that role. For you to convince people that you fit to become a leader, you must be there for them. Like the doctors are on strike. Some leaders are telling the doctors there is no money, go back to work. But Babu is telling them there is money that is being wasted. People are buying expensive jewelry. There's a lot of wastage. And with that, people feel that this is the right man. He is part and parcel of us. Babu Owino is courageous. For you to convince the people that you can fight for them or you can join them in the fight for continued liberation, you must be courageous. Over the years, people who stood before the oppressive governments were never people who are weak. And I always give this example of a man I really follow and I admire. The Black American, Martin Luther King Jr., who was fighting for the rights of the Negroes. And he used to tell the government that a time is coming when we'll have a black president. And I remember on his final speech, he said, I have been to the mountaintop and I've been shown the promised land. I might not get there with you, but I must assure you that you will be there no matter what. So courage is one part that you must possess if you want to be a leader. If you will agree with me that William Ruto, apart from being, do I say cunning, he's also very courageous. With the cunning nature, he faced the deep state. And you know, it's a story that we don't want to revisit. And you know, he's courageous but full of, cunning games here and there. And that's why he made it to be president. Apart from Raila Amolo Odinga, I think William Ruto and now Babu Owino, people like Sifuna, are very, very courageous. And that is one thing that people admire of Babu Owino. And then Babu Owino has got something that many of these young leaders might not really get, getting support across the tribes. If you look at most leaders, you'll realize that they enjoy support within their tribal, inclination. But when you, for example, today, I want you to pick Rigathi Gachagua, take him to Nyanza, where the people can accept him. Take him to Western or Eastern, where Kalonzo is coming from. He will not, because he's projecting himself as someone who's fighting for the Kikuyu nation, for the Mount Kenya nation. When there is a problem with other nations, it doesn't matter to him. But when Sakaja wants to remove vehicles from the CBD, he's there warning. When he realizes that over-drinking and illicit brew has become a problem in the mountain, it becomes a problem, and he fights for it, which is good. Charity must begin at home, but then you must extend it if you want to become a national leader. So you must decide whether you're a local leader or a national leader. So you will realize that Babu Owino is cutting across the board. He goes to the Kikuyus, they will listen to him. To Ukambani, they listen to him. He goes to Coast, they will listen to him. To Western. And I don't know how this happens, but it's like a spirit. People just like you. In politics, you don't force yourself. Yes, you have to fight for it, but some people will try fighting for it, but they don't get to the place where they're now national leaders. And Babu Owino, if you ask me, possesses those characters, and that is why he is that chick that has shown that he will grow into a cock. Remember, he started way back as the University of Nairobi student leader, and he fought for it. To date, he has still maintained the fire. The fire is burning. and we only wait and see. I only pray that his ambition will not be cut short like the others before him, like Tom Mboya, Piugama Pinto, and the young men who have gone before him. And I don't know what you think, but I think the succession politics is a healthy one as long as we debate upon it soberly. And that is my take.